Okay, Jay, are you here? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Keisha. I'm here and ready. Let's jump into it whenever you're ready to go.
Okay. Welcome to Women Over 40 Losing Weight. I'm Dr. Kisha Pickford, a nurse practitioner and hormone-informed weight loss strategist for women over 40. And I'm the founder of Ample Health and Wellness. This is the podcast where we have real, honest conversations about what it actually takes to lose weight, feel better, and stay healthy after 40 without the extremes, the guilt, or the confusion. And today, I'm joined by my co host, Coach Jay, as we dive into today's conversation. Over the last two episodes, we focused specifically on belly fat. What's happening hormonally, metabolically, and how to approach it strategically. And as we close out February, I want to be clear we are not done talking about belly fat because belly fat after 40 is real. It's hormonal, it's metabolic, and it's deeply personal. But today, we're expanding the conversation because while belly fat may be the symptom, confidence and strategy are the solution. Jay, how are you? And let's talk about what the next 30 days should actually look like.
I'm doing great, Keisha, and you're right. Women listening now are thinking, okay, I understand the hormones, but how do I shift into confidence? So let's start with your own experience. When did you make that shift from focusing on the belly to building confidence?
Yeah, I did have to make a shift. And I recall a season in my own journey, even after losing over 100 pounds, where I would still stand in the mirror and focus only on my belly, not my strength, not my endurance, and not my improved health and blood work and labs at the doctor's office. It was just that one area. And I caught myself thinking, when this flattens out, then I'll feel confident. But what I realized is this: my habits had changed, my health had improved, my identity was evolving, but my focus was still narrow. And that's when it clicked too. Belly fat may be the trigger, but strategy is what builds confidence.
That's powerful, Keisha. So instead of obsessing over the belly, you shifted toward what you could control. Now, can you share how that played out with a client, maybe like Jada, who was also stuck focusing on her belly?
Yes, I did have Jada as a client. And I want to say this: confidence comes from kept promises to yourself, and it's not from one body part shrinking. And Jada, she was a client that we had to go into this a little bit more deep so that she could finally take control and gain the weight loss and the weight management that she wanted. Jada came to me completely focused on her belly. That was her number one concern. She really couldn't think about anything else when we talked. She didn't want to wear fitted clothes. She avoided certain social events just because of her belly. She felt like her body had betrayed her. But when we looked at her routine, her life, and what all she had going on, what we saw was she was skipping meals. She was very high stress. She was doing cardio, no weightlifting. She did cardio all the time, and she wasn't sleeping. So her belly, it wasn't the problem. It was her hormones that were reacting to her lifestyle. So instead of putting her on another restrictive plan or diet, we changed or we did four things. We stabilized her blood sugar. We added resistance training twice per week. We began to have her to prioritize rest and sleep. And then we reset her food environment because she had a lot to change at home. And then within weeks, her energy changed, her posture changed, her strength increased, and yes, her belly responded. But you know what? More importantly, her confidence returned before the full physical change did.
So the physical shift followed the strategic shift. Now let's break it down for everyone. If they start tomorrow, what exactly does the next 30 days look like in a simple structure strategy?
Yes, um, a simple, structured strategy would look something like this. Week one, we would advise you to begin by stabilizing your blood sugar. And that is something as simple as having a protein at every meal and don't eat your carbs naked. Always pair it with something. Stop skipping meals. We calm insulin first before we do anything else.
So we build that metabolic foundation first. What's week two of the strategy?
Yes, build the metabolic foundation first. And then week two, add resistance training. And nothing really fancy, nothing every day. Just pick 2 days out of the week, 2 sessions at least, and build muscle. And muscle becomes your metabolic insurance after 40. Walking and, some cardio is good, but strength training is strategic and it's what we need after 40 is muscle.
Absolutely. Now, what about week three? I imagine this is where we handle stress and recovery, right?
Yes, because after 40, a lot of us are going through a lot of stress. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got so many hats. I know I wear at least 10 of them. But week three, we begin to practice on improving our sleep each night so that you or we can lower the cortisol. And that means 7 hours minimum, short walks after meals, setting your boundaries, and stop chronically under eating. You cannot out diet stress hormones. You make them worse when you do the opposite of these things that we're recommending.
That's the part most of us overlook, right? Now, once we've addressed stress, what's the final step in week four to help ensure we actually follow through?
Yeah, this final week is what we seriously help Jada with. In week four, we reset the environment. We look at your environment, and that means we make sure that you have protein visible, ready to go, prepped, or already cooked. We take all the foods away that trigger you. So, trigger foods out of sight. We make sure you do a pantry audit and you get rid of those things that just do not support you. And then we plan. We make a plan, we make a strategy before hunger hits because willpower is unreliable. But if your environment is set up correctly, your environment will guide or direct your strategy for success.
So, if we tie this all together, belly fat is the symptom, but strategy is the solution. In one sentence, how would you sum up the next 30 days for our listeners?
In one sentence, I would say the next 30 days would be a strategy for success because you got to plan. And anything that you plan for usually and typically will work out for a positive outcome.
I love that.
So, yes, belly fat after 40 is a hormonal conversation, but body confidence after 40 is a decision. and your next 30 days determine which direction you go. As a hormone informed weight loss strategist, my role isn't just to help you shrink your waistline, it's to help you understand your body and respond strategically. Well, if you need deeper support, my book, The Wait is Over, walks through this in detail. And inside the Fresh Start coaching program, we implement this strategy step by step. And you can visit amplehealthandwellness.com to learn more.
Perfectly said, Keisha. That wraps it up with clarity and confidence. I think listeners will feel both empowered and supported with that. Nicely done.
Yes, I think they will. And I want to thank you, Jay, for helping all the time and coming to my rescue when I need a co host. And I also want to thank the listeners for spending time with us today. We'll see you next week as we step into our spring season. And I too hope that this conversation helped you feel seen, feel encouraged, and reminded you that sustainable weight loss after 40 is possible. New episodes of Women Over 40 Losing Weight are released every Friday, so be sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Until then, we need everyone to stay strategic, stay consistent, and keep moving forward.
That was a fantastic wrap, Keisha. You brought it full circle. I think you've got your episode right there. Whenever you're ready to post, it's going to resonate.